It's fast, exciting and action all the way on bikes that have no brakes, no gears, where skill and nerve play a major role. In fact, there's no other form of cycling quite like Cycle Speedway. Each race is 4 laps of a tight indoor circuit, but you could be excused if, when anything goes, you occasionally lose count. This is the National Indoor Fours Championships at Leicester, and the most important event of the year for Wednesfield. Formed barely 40 years ago on tracks cut out of bomb craters, Cycle Speedway is a progressive and ambitious sport, with clubs well spread around Britain. And now you can race indoors as well as out.
We all know what we can do outside. Indoor, it's different. We've got Basildon first. You all know Basildon are the reigning British team champions.
And apart from Basildon, there are 30 other clubs from across the country for Wednesfield to worry about on their way to the Granby Halls. Captain Roger Ellis opens Wednesfield's campaign with each of the 4-man team racing 4 times. The top 16 teams on points will go on into the second round.
You're under starters' orders.
When it's your turn to get the inside draw, it's an advantage worth fighting for. But you need skill as well as strength to hold it. Roger, at 38, has had an international career that has included the Ashes against Australia. Unhurt, except perhaps for his pride, but there are no points for Wednesfield. But Wednesfield ended the first round with a fine performance by Mickey Harris. That, by the way, is without the H.
Nice and steady, Mick.
So Paul Bodley's men have their place in the second round. It's a chance now for their reserve schoolboy champion, Aidy Melbourne, to show the skills of a very mature performer. Isn't he marvellous? This really is a sport for all ages, and Wednesfield are now confident once more.
Well, lads, we're in the driving seat, let's go.
But Roger had spoken too soon, and the team begins to fall apart. A place in the semi-final now hinges on the last event of the round.
You've got to win the race.
The pressure is really on Dave Parsons, for he must win just to force a run-off against Sandwell for that semi-final place. Dave Parsons is second from the right, with Andy Harris and Sandwell in the yellow crash helmet. So Dave Parsons has done all that was asked of him. Now Wednesfield are equal on points with Sandwell, and it'll be the turn of Roger Ellis to take on Andy Harris in the run-off.
Go on, chuck it up.
Old Midland rivals, luck is on Roger's side. He wins the toss. The all-important start, and Roger gets the inside, and he keeps Andy Harris on the long road home. But this run-off is all about tactics, and Ellis concentrates on keeping Harris on the outside of the circuit. But Harris checks himself, goes inside, and with just a lap to go, has the lead. And at this stage of the race, Roger Ellis has committed a fatal error. Cycle speedway may be a minor sport, but the emotional extremes felt in victory or defeat are just as intense.
Second, right, just a split second, Roy. Right, Roy, you couldn't have done any better.
And for information about that sport, call 01, that's London of course, 992 5522. Our information lines stay open for 2 hours from now, so here's a reminder of all those numbers. Remember, the sport that's aroused most interest will get its own programme. Watch out soon for the announcement of the winner.